Hello and welcome to Todd Talk, where insight meets inspiration. I'm your host, Todd Hiller, and I'm an author, speaker, and longtime community leader, here to guide you on a journey towards fulfillment and balance. In every episode, we'll explore ways to fill life's emptiness, helping you uncover practical tools to create harmony, purpose, and happiness. Whether it's thriving in your career, nurturing personal growth, or simply finding joy in the everyday, Todd Talk is your space for real conversations and actionable advice. So let's thrive together, personally, professionally, and beyond. This is Todd Talk, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Todd Talk. Today's episode, I want to talk about how it's really important to not let other people's hesitation get in the way of what we want to pursue and our goals and our ambitions that we want to work on in any aspect of time, whether it's a daily goal, a weekly goal, something you want to work on long term, a business you'd like to start, or anything in between. Sometimes we look around and we are super motivated and we want to hit the ground running and say, hey, here we go, I'm so excited. But when we look around, nobody else is motivated. Nobody else is ambitious. Nobody else wants to take that first step and go down the road of the hard work to achieve something. And that can be really daunting. And I have found, I think, at least sometimes, in my opinion, people don't typically always quit on the things in their life that they don't end up pursuing. I think sometimes they just pause, and that pause is fueled by other people's indecision, other people's apathy, sometimes other people's laziness, as harsh as that sounds. But sometimes it's super important to push through the pause and keep going regardless of what other people are thinking or doing, or in this case, not doing. You know, I've been in countless situations where someone needs to start doing things. Someone needs to take the first step. I've been with a group of people. There's been a task at hand and something we have to achieve. And nobody wants to go out on a limb and take that first giant leap and get going. And actually, a lot of times, it's not even a giant leap. Sometimes it's just a really simple step. Sometimes it's just the first step. Hey, what do we need to do today? We need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and then X, Y, Z. And okay, so pick something. It even doesn't always have to be step A. You can start in the middle if you want and just say, we're going to start with step E. And because that's the easy one, that'll build some momentum. We'll keep right on going. But a lot of times we look around and nobody else is moving, and we don't want to be the outcast who takes that first step. But I want you to be the outcast. And also, as this translates to your personal life, I want you to always remember that your ambitions are specifically important to you. So don't let someone else's lack of ambition or apathy kind of take away from something that could be really good for you. And this could be on a grand scheme and a grand scale of something big, a business or a goal or a big achievement you want to chase, a career opportunity, a new relationship, a new house, a new vehicle, a new foundation of friendship with a certain group of people or a certain person, whatever it looks like. Don't let someone else's, lack of interest or lack of ability to go ahead and stop you from doing that. And even if it's little things, the day-to-day, if you have a really busy day and you're like, I have to do A, B, C, D, and all the way through to Z, I've got a full to-do list, 26 letters of the alphabet, 26 items on the to-do list. Don't get stuck just because when you show up in the beginning part of your day, you get to work and everybody's like, oh, it's Monday. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't do anything today except talk about the weekend. Don't let people do that to you. Don't let them discourage you. And even in your personal life, don't do that. If the people you're surrounded with, your group of friends are like, oh, come on, it's too early in the morning. We don't want to do this yet. Are you sure we have to? Look, be your own self-starter and be your own best friend and work hard to keep chasing the things that you find important. Because if we don't chase the things we find important, what else do we have? And I know using the word chase too sometimes isn't always, I don't know if it's always the right word, because sometimes it's not a chase. Sometimes it's a really steady walk on a path we know we need to go down. We know where we need to go, what we need to focus on. So we just have to take those little steady steps forward and forward and forward and not get lost in the loud noise of other people saying, oh, don't do that. Oh, it's a bad idea. Oh, don't do it now, do it later, and all that other kind of stuff. Don't let other people's inaction be the steering wheel of your vehicle, of your life. It's your car to drive. It's your ship to steer. I've said this before in other episodes. You're the one who gets to point it where you want it to go. So just because somebody else hesitates, don't let their hesitation slow you down. Don't let the fact that they're dragging their feet make you lose momentum. Just if you have to go without them and do it without them, then go ahead and do it. the things that matter most to you, they matter most to you. And it won't always be the case that they matter a lot to other people. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean that they don't like you. It's just sometimes we all have different ambitions, and what we want to pursue is not something somebody else wants to pursue. But there's a lot of weight that comes on us when we look around and the people in our lives aren't following suit. They're just hanging back and sitting on their heels and, staring out the window and, I don't want to do anything today. And sometimes that's really hard for us to push past because we don't want to be disagreeable. We don't want to cause a problem. And sometimes you just have to be willing to be your own best partner in the pursuit of something important. And you have to let the other people maybe just kind of hang back, and they'll catch up eventually if they want to. And if they don't want to, that's okay. You don't have to force them to do something. Just make sure you're doing it still to yourself because it's important to you, and you're doing it for yourself because it's important to you. And just remember, not everyone in your life is meant to walk every single mile with you. Sometimes they're going to sit on the sidelines, and when you get done with the first mile, they'll cut across the field and meet you there and say, okay, now I'm ready to walk with you, and now I'm ready to catch up. And that's okay. It's hard. It's difficult. It's because it's loud and it's noisy, and we're like, nobody's here with me. It's so lonely. It's empty. There's nothing around me that I can help me, boost me up and, cheer me on. And that lack of support sometimes, and that lack of cheering and that lack of ambition by those closest to us and around us can be really detrimental. It can be really daunting. We say, this person isn't encouraging me, and they're the one I always look to for encouragement. And sometimes we are blessed enough to always have people in our lives who encourage us. And if you do, bravo, hats off, cheers, that's a fantastic thing. But please know it's not always the case that that's something that you have very present in your life. Sometimes you just got to go out there and do it on your own. And I think one of the other things that people forget is it's okay for people to do the same task at different paces. And I have an episode where we talk about that too, about, the ABC. Some people are like 80-20, some people are 90-10, some people are step by step, they are 1 by 1 by 1 by 1% all the way up. And no matter how you get there, no matter how you walk, no matter how you pursue what you pursue, please remember, just because no one's going with you doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. Ooh, I like that. Just because no one's going with you doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. Sometimes things are very individually specific to you and your heart and your mind and your spirit and your soul, and you want to pursue them because that's what interests you. And sometimes other people just aren't going to be digging that. They're not going to be on the same page, and that's perfectly okay. But don't let it convince you that you're going the wrong way if they don't want to take the walk with you. And you have to keep going, and you have to be consistent. I recently complimented someone on their commitment to their commitments. And it's really a beautiful thing if you can be committed to the commitments in your life and follow through and be someone who is always accountable and always follows through on the things they say they're going to set out to do. Because quite frankly, everyone in life, sometimes when we say we're going to do something, sometimes we don't have anybody to do it with us, but we still pursue it. It's a goal we want to do for us. I'm going to start working out more. I'm going to eat a little healthier. I'm going to get myself back to where I feel great. And that's really important to me. And then a lot of people say that and then they don't do it. It doesn't happen, or they get busy. And then sometimes people are like, nope, I'm doing it. Even if it takes me a few days to get rolling, I'm going to follow through. And that's really crazy beautiful when people do that, and so admirable. And that's such a wonderful thing for me to observe in other people. And so do that for yourself. Be committed to your commitments. And remember, you're doing this for you. Your future self doesn't benefit from other people's approval. It benefits from your consistency. Your future self and the version of you are chasing and the version of you want to be, the way you get there and the way you become that version of yourself is by consistently showing up for yourself and not relying on everybody else to kind of get going and do it for you. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to, right? You have to do it for yourself. You can have people along the lines that will support you and cheer for you and love you, and that's fantastic and wonderful. But this is your journey and your trip. So don't let the inaction of other people quiet you down or kind of make you feel like you should back off of pursuing something. And let's talk about something very real for a minute. When other people are not interested in what you're doing, and when it seems like other people don't care, it can feel personal. It can feel super lonely, and it can feel like an attack or just a lack of interest or a lack of love sometimes. But please remember, and please hear me when I say this, most often other people's hesitation or apathy has nothing to do with you and nothing to do with your idea that you just told them about, or it has nothing to do with what you are pitching to them for an idea or an ambition or a goal. It has to do with, their fear, their exhaustion, their unresolved stuff that they're dealing with. Their lack of motivation is completely internal and it's on them. And so don't let it weigh you down too much, because it's not a reflection of what you actually told them. It's not a reflection of what you're actually trying to pursue. And sometimes it's not even a reflection of how they actually feel about what you just told them. A lot of times they internalize it and they pitch it back to themselves. They're like, oh, they want to do this really ambitious thing. Ugh, I have no interest in doing that because I'm tired. I'm depressed. I have stuff on my mind. I have stuff on my plate, too much to do. I can't do that. I can't get there. I'm not good at this, whatever it is. But please hear me that all that stuff, for lack of a better term, is in their court and falls on them. Don't let it cling to you and make you feel so heavy and stuck that you can't keep moving forward. And this might sound kind of harsh, but someone else's lack of ambition is not a verdict on your potential, period. Someone else's lack of ambition does not define how good you are at something. Someone else's lack of ambition, even if there's someone close to you or someone you have to work with all the time or someone you volunteer with all the time or your right-hand man or woman at work or your colleague or your business partner, whatever it is, their lack of ambition or their lack of interest or their apathy towards whatever it is that's on the horizon doesn't mean, and it's not a reflection of you as a person, or more importantly, your ability to achieve the things you want to achieve. And sometimes you can check in with yourself by asking yourself, hey, listen, if no one noticed this progress, if no one knew I was doing this, would it still be important to me and would I still pursue it? And if the answer is yes, then you're right on the money, and that's something you should keep going for and keep chasing and keep doing, because that's a really beautiful thing. And I know it's easier when people show up and cheer and there's fireworks and a parade and a banner and everybody claps. I know in my heart. It feels so good to be recognized, especially recognized for your efforts. But that doesn't mean that the work you're doing that's unrecognized isn't important and doesn't add up to wonderful things in the future and help you achieve your goal. It just means sometimes it's a little tougher to keep going. So keep doing it for yourself and do that check-in with yourself. Hey, listen, if I did all this stuff and nobody even noticed, would I still want to do it? And if you say, yes, I would, or yes, I do, then that's awesome. Then keep right on going. You're pointed your ship in the correct direction and you're going to steer it where you want to go. And it doesn't have to be anybody else on board with you. It's your life, right? I've always said it's your life to enjoy. It's not someone else's life to dictate. And when it comes down to it, things like your health and your success and the way you feel and feeling good, they really weren't meant to be crowdsourced. Other people can help us with things along the way, but we feel what is in our bodies. We feel what it feels like to feel like we are successful and like we've achieved something we set out to do. That is all very personal and very inherently us, deep down inside our soul. That's not something that other people should be building up for us. That's something that we should be doing for ourselves because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel physically good, mentally well, emotionally well, spiritually well. It makes us feel happy. And like if we keep doing it, the version of ourselves we're going to be in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year is worth chasing because it's going to be so great when we get there. I had a professor in college when I studied abroad in London who told me that your purpose has nothing to do with other people. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I'm not going to tell you what I mean. He said, that's yours to figure out. And so every time I went somewhere for the next 2 weeks while I was in London, I walked a lot of places when I was in London. The next 2 weeks, anytime I walked somewhere, I thought about that. Your purpose has nothing to do with other people. And I said, well, my purpose does have something to do with other people because I want to serve people. And he said, great. He said, that is fantastic. And that's a great reframing. He said, but if no one sent you a thank you note, would you still want to help other people? And I said, well, yeah, of course I would. I said, I love to serve others. It's part of the reason I joined the fire department when I was 14. I love doing things for the community and for other people. And he said, your purpose is not for other people. He said, your purpose can benefit other people and they can be happy to receive it. He said, but your purpose is about you as a person. And that has always stuck with me and always resonated with me so deeply because a lot of times other people have thoughts and opinions about what we're doing or what we're pursuing. right? Negativity is super loud. Lots of people think they have a better idea or a better solution to our problem or a better way to achieve our goal. Or sometimes they think we shouldn't even chase after that goal to begin with. But our purpose, the reason we were put on this earth, is inherently special to us, the person, the individual. Todd W. Hiller, my purpose is specific to me. Yes, it can benefit other people. Yes, I can form great relationships while I go, through this life, and great friendships and great loves and all that kind of stuff. But what matters to me needs to matter to me because it is what I feel is important. It's what I feel is worth pursuing. It's what I feel is worth chasing. And, someone once said to me, I remember thinking when I was first entering the career world, I had gotten offered a job as a career firefighter. I had taken some tests to become a police officer. And at the time, I'm like, man, why would anybody not want to do this? You get to serve your community. The benefits are good. You get to showing up and being a firefighter every day. What, that's so cool. And, they're going to pay me to do it on top of that. And some other people were like, yeah, I would never, ever would I be a firefighter or a cop. They're like, the salary could be $3 million a year. And I'd be like, nope, not doing it. And I reframed that to myself. And I said, well, okay, what's something that someone could ask you to do and say, would you do this for a job? And I very quickly realized that other people are very interested in certain things that I have zero interest in. And that's kind of what makes the world go round, right? That's why we have such a diverse world and such a diverse group of friends sometimes, is because everybody has different interests and things that are important to them and goals that are important to them. But when it comes to things like purpose, your purpose should matter most to you. And it's not that it can't matter to other people. Other people can think it's great, and other people can be like, oh my God, we're going to clap for you and cheer for you. We love the mission you're on. Let's go. And side note, surround yourself with those kind of people, because let's face it, it's just a whole lot more fun and a lot of times easier to do things that you can, one, talk about with your people in your friend circle and your friend group, and also that you can check in with them and have them and hear them be supportive and congratulatory and all that kind of stuff. So, that's fantastic. So surround yourself with those people. That's my little side note. But back to the mainline focus is, even if those people aren't showing up for you all the time, your purpose and your health and your goals and your commitments should be specifically important to you. And even if they're not going to come along for the ride with you, I want you to pursue them nonetheless. There's this really great idea. You should expand your courage to match your calling. Sometimes I surprise myself. I like that one too. I want you to expand. What did I just say? Expand your courage to support your calling. Because really, the things you are called to do are specific to you as a person. And it's not that other people aren't called to do similar things, but yours are specific to you. So that's something I really want you to do. Yeah, expand your courage to match your calling. I think that's how I said it the first time. And also, that kind of goes right along with something I've said before. Don't shrink yourself to fit in somebody else's space comfortably. If they can't handle the entire whole version of you and all the things you have to offer this world, then maybe chances are it's time for you guys to just make a little more room between you, so to speak, maybe both figuratively and literally. That is something also I think a lot of people struggle with. They're used to seeing their little community group or their social group, and all of a sudden they're like, well, I'm the person who does this. If I branch out and I say I want to do this, everybody in the friend group is going to be like, what are you talking about? That's not what you're doing. That's not you. And I get that, and that can be really difficult to, come up against, but I want to encourage you to do it anyway. If it matters to you, don't let other people shrink your ambitions and your hopes for great things for yourself. Keep right on going. And as we wrap up, I want to really encourage you to keep pursuing the things that maybe you've been putting off or maybe you've been pausing with. At the beginning of the episode, we talked about, that pause. Maybe it's not always quitting. It's just a pause that gets delayed and delayed. So if you find yourself pausing, if you find yourself saying, well, I guess maybe the time isn't right, I really want to encourage you to use this as your little nudge to be like, oh, I guess right now really is the time. I guess right now really is a good time to pursue it. You're allowed to pursue more, even if others settle for what they have or where they currently are. You're allowed to do more. You're allowed to want more and chase more, even if other people slow down. You're allowed to charge ahead and keep going, even if nobody else wants to come with you. So keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep putting in all the effort, keep chasing the long game and the long goal and the things on the horizon that are going to be great. Keep looking to those and keep staring at those and moving right forward to get them. Because, well, oh man, because life is too important to be lived at the speed of someone else's hesitation. I really like that too. And it's so easy to get distracted and so easy to feel pulled down. But I really want to encourage you through this podcast and through anything else you see me doing or hear me doing. Remember me leaning down and kind of giving you that little pep talk of saying it's worth pursuing, it's worth doing, right? It's not someone else's life to live. It's your life to live, not someone else's life to control, whether that's the pace, the speed, or the things you choose. My friends, I am so grateful and so thankful that you have stuck with me for all these episodes and this episode specifically. This will be episode 53, which marks us moving past the calendar year, the 1 year mark, the celebrating. So as we move into the new year, where we've got 1 year under our belt, and I want to keep right on going. I have loved so much connecting with you all, sharing my voice with you, talking to people about the ideas and thoughts in this podcast and everything in between. I am truly grateful for you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your holiday season. Be very, very well. I hope you've enjoyed the message. Take care. Thanks for tuning in to Todd Talk. If you've liked what you've heard, please go ahead and subscribe and follow along so you don't miss any updates or new episodes. Thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your day.